Welcome back, everyone. Today we have another video, this time with Flamingo, and I wanted to say that this is the time to play Flamingo right now. With the latest results with the regionals, Whitebeard has risen up in popularity, and this deck has a great matchup against Whitebeard, and it has a decent matchup against Zoro. The only matchup that I think is bad for Flamingo is green-based decks. Even Kiemon could be really 50-50 is not the best matchup, but like you still can win it. Like there's scenarios where you can out-tempo them, and those are the ones that you're gonna win. But against everything else, this deck is amazing. This deck is good against black. It's good against like both the red decks. It's good against everything else. Everything else, you just get to outvalue your opponent a lot. Like there's too much value in this deck. And this is not the final list. I think there is still a little bit of room for improvement. Maybe some like there's some numbers that could be tinkered with, so you can make it more consistent. I'm still trying to work on the most refined list that I can work with. But this is what I have right now. I don't have 4 Jinbes, so I'm playing 3 right now. I do like the 3 Teach. Teach is really good in most matchups, and it's able to buy back your Piranhas back into the hand, and that's really important so you can keep going. So this card is really good in this deck, and I would still play it as early game. Is able to just bounce back and give you the tempo that you need to buy enough time so you can outgrind the opponents, and that's really important. Everything else is very standard and close to the list that I was playing before. 4 Albedas is the best one against Zoro. Mainly, and that's the only reason that I'm playing her. And everything else is just very standard to the list that I was playing. But yeah, it's still pretty powerful. It's really good against, as I'm saying, as a Whitebeard, as you're able to develop a blocker at the same time as doing pressure to something else. Or you can even defend that card, so you can have 2 attackers, and you keep adding cards into the board. That's something that a Whitebeard cannot deal with easily. As you're doing both things that they don't like to get a pressure and develop something at the same time. So that's really good for this deck. That's the main reason to play this deck right now. But again, I still defend this deck as one of the best decks in the format, as no one is playing the 8-drop anymore, and that's the only card that you could have absolutely like tell me that's the card that kills this deck is the 8-drop, but no one plays that anymore. So you can take advantage of the fact that that's happening to just play right now that way. Another way that I want to try the deck would be with the Pacifista engine, as it is decent, it is really good. I just don't know how to fit it and fit like the cards that I want to fit. I do think the 2K counters, having 10 of them is important. So I don't want to cut down on 2Ks. I think the Spada is really important in this deck. I actually want to up it up to 4. So I need to make some... I don't think you can make much adjustments to this list right now. So that's why I haven't tried the Pacifista on this list already. But yeah, that's the main reason why. But the deck's still pretty good, and you should definitely play it right now. Take advantage of the fact that many people are trying the Whitebeard right now. And with that being said, let's go see some gameplay. Alright, and for our first matchup, we have Whitebeard. As I do think this is the best matchup for the deck. And you do get, and especially if you play Piranha 1, because you get so much value out of the leader. That is just impressive. Here, I get to play a Gecko for free, which is insane, because now he has to decide to either develop his board with a 4K, with a 4 energy card, or he has to get rid of the Gecko, because the Gecko is going to offer a lot of pressure for free. I could have used all that energy to just attack the leader and do a lot of pressure, like 8-8, and he has to take it and go to like 1 super quickly. And he wants to defend, the way he plays the deck, he wants to defend his leader a lot, because he at the end of all of this, he's gonna play the 9-drop, and the 9-drop, if he has 1 life, he's more secure to, like, he's not gonna be as scared of going to 1 life. He's gonna be okay, especially if he can go back to back 9-drop. That's gonna be really important for him. But here he wants to develop something. and the card that he wants to develop is the Luffy. And I do defend my Boa, as defending it is free, as I'm gonna get a card for free. And here I'm gonna take some cards out of my opponent's hand, Andrew in this case. And I'm gonna attack for 7 at the beginning, no 8. I'm gonna attack for 8 here, as I want to get cards going, and then I'm gonna attack with my Boa, as I want to get cards out of his hand. Because attacking the leader is just doesn't matter at this point, at this exact moment. He's not going to 9. I'm gonna let this one die. 7 is enough for me to let her die, I think. 7 energy. I was also thinking of that he could have the Marco, and that would be really bad for me. But now he attached a bunch of energy, so he didn't have no Marco. I'm sorry. I was thinking about Ace. But he didn't have the Ace. I was thinking here maybe I want to out-combo this attack. But I felt like that was too many cards for just a Boa. It just wasn't worth it. And I already had a play like set up for next turn. Which was going to be the Mihawk. I want to get rid of the Marco because it's a good blocker. And I just don't want him to be able to block. He attacks for 6 and attacks for 8. So I take that one. I go to 4 life. So I was at 5 life. I was super good on life total right here. Now I have to focus on the Luffy because it's the easier card that I can attack with. As the leader right now is AK. So it's just much easier for me to attack the leader. I however, want to get some value out of my leader for sure. And I didn't have any other option to do it. So I played the Teach to bounce by my Perona. Back my Perona. And just set up the next couple of draws. And that's what I do. Here, I see a blocker. And it's going to help me against that Whitebeard. Because it's hard for them to push through a 4K blocker. So that's going to be nice for future turns. And here I'm going to do a play that is really important for this matchup. As you can see, I don't have a Love Bean in my hand. But I still bluff it. Because I'm going to attack with my Mihawk. And because I'm going to attack with my Mihawk... Oh, and here's another important piece of information. He out-comboed 2 5Ks here. Which means he doesn't have a 2K in hand. And that is really important. Like a really piece of information that you have to keep in mind for when I'm going for game. And we'll see how that plays out later. Here, he just combos 2 to save the Luffy, and I attack the Mihawk. He combos the Radical Beam. He wants to keep the board because he thinks this is a race, and he has to keep as many cards as possible in the board, because that's how he sees that he's gonna win. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have another Whitebeard, and here I'm just, and that's the reason I kept the 2 energy up, even though I could have attacked for more. I just didn't want him to attack my Mihawk. My Mihawk was going to be important to go for game. And I just needed him to just not be able to do that. I'm still at 3 life here. And I'm going to poke with my 9-drop first. Because I want to see if he wants to tap out. Or I want to tap his blocker out. That's the first thing that I want to do. Okay. Now he didn't take the tap out for the blocker. Because he knew he couldn't out-combo. If he blocks, he couldn't out-combo the next one. So I take this one and I decide, okay, well, still pressure you a little bit. Again, remember, he showed me that he doesn't have 2Ks. So attacking for 7 is perfect right now. And he just has to block and let it die. And then, yeah, he just doesn't have enough for the final turn here. So that piece of information, the fact that he showed me that he didn't have any 2Ks, was really important for me to go for game. And here, I could have played it a bit more passive, but because I knew that he didn't have many 2Ks, I went for game. But I could have just definitely just played the blocker and keep at 2 energy, still bluffing the Love Beam, and I could have gone for game the following turn. But I decided to go for game on this turn because, again, I had that information from previous turns. Let's go into the next game, though. Okay, and our second matchup is against Zoro, and this matchup is okay, especially if I have a Perona, which I didn't. That's fine, but I did have my my Flamingo on turn 3 on this game, and he did have a good opening. Nami into Sonny is really good. This guy is from Morlocos. He sometimes gets first and top 8 consistently, and he's been playing Zoro for a long time, so he knows how to play Zoro very well. Here I play my Flamingo as I want to add an attacker for his little creatures, and I want to set up the next couple of turns. Here he's gonna play another Nami, so again, his hand is not bad at all. He gets a Chopper, and then he has 3 energy up for, I think he might do an attack here for 6 probably. Okay, he attacks for 6. He doesn't want to attack probably with the small creatures because I do have an attacker for that, so he has to be, he probably wants to conserve the creatures, and he just plays an Usopp. He's building up the board, which is really good for Zoro. But here's how, like, what this deck is good for, because now I get a Jinbe for free, and this card is really important in this matchup because now they don't really want to attack it, because if they do attack it, that's one attack that it blocks, and it's something else that I'm removing, and that is important. So it's a card that is going to stick on board, and I'm going to play my Perona and my Law, as I still want, like, in case he wants to go like 5/5/5 with everything, I'm able to just craft back, and I'm able to just remove all of that for free. So that's the reason I do what I do here. And now my opponent is probably thinking that he doesn't want to remove the Jinbe. Jinbe it's good removal for free. He has a Jet Pistol, and maybe he wants to play the Robin, or he wants to play the 1-drop to give something else like a boost. That'll be nice too. But definitely he's thinking on 5. Maybe he's thinking about the Jet Pistol for sure. He's either he wants to attack for 5 and then Jet Pistol the Jinbe, but then he loses something else. So he's thinking maybe that's not worth it. And then now he goes 5. I combo out of that one because I don't wanna lose the Jinbe too early right now. I want to keep the pressure going. And now he plays the I forgot his name, whatever his name is, to give this guy some counter power, and then he has to sacrifice one of the cards. He doesn't sacrifice the Namis because he plays a lot of ways to pump their 1-drops, and he wants to use the 1-drops that way. Maybe he should have not done that. Maybe he should have just attacked with the Kun and just use the energy that way. But I would the Jinbe would have survived, and I would have been able to clear the board. Here he's trying to defend the Usopp, and I'm just trying to get rid of the Usopp because the Usopp is gonna give him a lot of value against a blue deck, because the blue deck plays a lot of counters, especially me. I play a lot of counters that are action are events, and he's just gonna get free cards for no value. So that I don't want that. He has a Zoro and he has a Gordon in hand. So he's definitely gonna try to remove my board this turn. He clears my Perona. He has a Jet Pistol if he wants to use that, or maybe he wants to use it in another target. He's thinking maybe a Boa Hancock would be a better target for that. But again, you don't have that much energy, so you either deal with this, or you deal with the or you play a Zoro, and you also deal with the with the 6-drop. Let's see how he does it. He decides to play the Gordon, I think. No, he's thinking about it. Attacks with the Nami at the Flamingo. Maybe he wants me to combo, but now he priced himself into using the okay, so now he's gonna use this one. So we had a bit of a confusion here because I thought he meant that he gave it 7k to my 3k, but what he meant, he basically, instead of reducing my card attack, he added it. But yeah, it comes down to the same thing. So yeah, he's attacking a 4 into a 3, and I'm gonna defend that because, I mean, it's fine. I won that. And now he has the option to play a Zoro or to play the Jet Pistol. If he plays the Zoro, he opts for the Jet Pistol because if he plays the Zoro, I'm able to use the leader to attack it and get rid of it. I think he wants to use that as a surprise factor. And I played the Teach here because I want to bounce the Sonicon, as that card he has to replay it again to get some value out of that. And now he has 2 Zoros. Maybe that's the play this turn. Playing 2 Zoros is going to be really good for him. I'm representing Love Beam. But he has to keep going after my board. And he's at 2 life in the meantime. So he's getting close to death range. And as you guys saw last turn, I didn't attack the Namis. Because if I attack the Namis, that's just basically like giving him a blocker. And I have to be worried and I have to be mindful of the fact that he plays the 9-drop. And if I don't start attacking his life, then the 9-drop is just going to dominate and going to be able to win the game. And I don't want that. I need that for that not to happen. And then he wants to get every value out of these Namis. And I think he starts attacking for 5. And I only have 2 cards, so I just use my Love here, and he plays the Zoro. He attacks the Mihawk, and he keeps up 2 energy for, he attacks for 5 on my leader, I think. Yeah, so he was able to utilize like all the Namis, and that's what he wanted to do. Like, you just want to utilize the Namis as an attackers every turn. Here, I luckily have a play already. I had the 9-drop. And I can just attack these Namis. Here's a play that is gonna define the game. Actually, he decides to out combo and protect the Namis, and that signified when he defended the first Nami. That signified to me that he didn't have the 9-drop, and that's important information for me. And even though he saves the 2 Namis, I'm still at 3 life, so I wasn't scared of dying, especially through a blocker. Even though I only have 2 cards in hand, it's difficult for me to just die this turn. So he has to navigate the fact that he can also die if he doesn't clear my board. So if he attempts to go for game and doesn't deal with what I have on board, then I can actually find a way to maybe go for game. So yeah, so he has to spend 1 attack in my teach, which okay, it gives me a bit of time, which is really good. I opt to block this one because I want him to play something. I want to see what his play is gonna be, and he just opts to do the Zoro, I believe. Yeah, Zoro, and then I think he plays the Nico Robin. Zoro is very good here. Attacking for 6 when I have such a low hand size is probably just fine. But I think he goes for 7. He just wants to guarantee the damage here. He wants to put me low so he can start like trying to close the game because he's getting to that point of the game. He doesn't have many resources. He knows he's not gonna die this turn for sure because I only have 2 attackers. So now it's up to me of what I want to do. If I want to attack the small creatures, again, I have to ignore the Namis because the Namis are just, he has to spend energy trying to go for that. So, and I have different options here. I could play the blocker. I could play the Gecko Moria, get a card, then play the blocker, look at the top 3, and then also use the leader. That would be the most efficient play. But I had an Espada in my hand, and I was scared of tapping out and just not being able to get some value out of that. So I used the leader blindly, and I just wanted to put him at 1 life. Sorry. I wanted to put him at 1 life so I can go for game next turn. And I wanted to represent a bunch of counters up. So, and I was at 2 life. I just needed to represent 2 attackers and the leader. And he knew that. He finally found his white beer, but he's probably thinking if I play the white beer and he has this board, his counters, he only has 1k counter, so he's definitely gonna lose if he plays the white beer. So it's too late for the white beer to appear right now. So he has to think of well, can I go for game this turn? But I'm also representing a love beam and another 1k counter. So he has to think, okay, there's not really a realistic way that I can go through a love beam, through and the counters on this hand, and also he has to if he doesn't kill me that turn, he definitely loses the next turn for sure. So there's a lot of things that he has to do, but he opts for a different play, which was actually very interesting. I didn't think that it was gonna work when he did it, but it did actually work very well. So he goes for Gordon on my Gecko Moria, and then he goes for Gordon on my Mihawk. So everyone that has the 2 Gordons thinks, yeah, well, you should go for double Gordon on Mihawk and kill it with the Robin, because that's what you have, right? That would be the easiest way to go for it, but that doesn't deal with the Gecko Moria, and I only need 2 attackers to go for game on a 2-card hand. So the best solution that he found is attack with Robin for, do this play, be able to destroy my Gecko Moria, be able to destroy my Mihawk, and at the same time, leave me without attackers, so he is guaranteed to have another turn, and then maybe next turn he's able to go for game. And I think that was the right play in this scenario, and it worked. I'm still he still has to be concerned at the fact that I could be bluffing a love beam. I mean, that could have a love beam, but I was bluffing it. But he just called my bluff. Like he was thinking, if he has a love beam, I lose the game either way, because I couldn't go for game and I cannot defend next turn. So he has to not have the love beam for me to win this game. I think that's the thought process that he's thinking right now. And yeah, that's what he's gonna do here right now. He's gonna go for 10 on Robin, and I have my hand is 1 2k counter, 1 espada, so that's 10, and 2 1k counters. So he attacks, destroy that one and attacks 10 into my 6. So I can out combo this one. However, he still has 2 energy up, and if I combo with my espada and my 2k and a 1k, because I need to do 3 cards, I only have 1 card in hand. So he can still guarantee the kill on my Mihawk, and I make it much easier for him to go for game next turn with the with Namis, because I'm not gonna have a hand, and he's just gonna be able to attack for 5, 6, and he's gonna be able to go for game super easily, and he's was still gonna be able to get rid of my board. So that play, I think, would have lost me the game if I out combo out of that Mihawk. So here I'm just gonna use the espada so I can get free value out of my leader. And I'm gonna get some good value here, because I'm gonna get the Gecko Moria, and I'm gonna be able to play a Boa Hancock for defense. And again, I'm gonna ignore his board, because we're at that stage of the game where he has to show me enough counter power to survive 1 turn. And he doesn't. He takes the last life, and I play my Boa, and I have 3 2k counters. And again, I'm still bluffing at a 2k counter, because he probably read by now that I don't have the 2k counter. And here he knows he needs to go for a game this turn. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have any rushers. He has a Red Hawk, a 2k counter, and a Sonicun. But if he doesn't show me a blocker, I just attack for 15 and I just go for game. So he knows that he needs to go for game this turn. And it's kind of tough, because I have a blocker and 2 life, and he only has 4 attackers. So if I block one of them, I just win the game. So it's kind of rough for him. I don't think he has an out. If he had maybe a jet pistol, but even then I have 3 2k counters, so it plus whatever I get out of life. So there was no really possible way for him to win the game. But I think he did the best that he could with what he had. So he just I was able to block one of them. Yeah, my life was also counter power, so it was impossible for him to win that game. But it was a good game, and I really wanted to showcase it. Let's go into the next one. All right, and for the final matchup for today, I have Law. Law is very good. Ali here on the right, he's a really good player. He got top 8 at the Miami Treasure Cup. So our locals is pretty stacked with all these good players. So you're gonna have good games with him for sure. And here I got Perona turn 1, and I get the fabulous Jinbe on turn 2. This is insane against Law, because it wastes 1 attack on him, and also remove something from the board, and he doesn't want to deal with that. He wants to ignore the Jinbe. I think is his solution. But here, another card that I was able to I set up the the turn this way, so I can bounce back something, and I can, if he kills my Jinbe, I bottom deck something else, and it gives me more time. And the more time I'm given, the better for me, because my deck is just trying to outgrind you always. And here, my start is super good. I was able to have a Jinbe into Teach, into another 3-drop play that is gonna be able to set up the plays for the next couple of turns. So I'm super ahead. And see, he's still trying to ignore the Jinbe, as that card is just giving him a headache right now. He's playing the Zoro for 3, and he's swapping and attacking again with my Zoro. As the only avenue that he sees for winning this game is gonna be to be really aggressive. But now I have an opportunity here to clear the board and clear his hand a little bit. And he opts to play that Zoro because he doesn't want to get the other Zoro bounce back again. So that would be very bad for him. But now here I get to attack with my leader, I get Komoria, and I get back the Teach that he killed already. So he already knows on his mind that the 3-drop Zoro is dead. It's a completely dead card in his hand, because I have an answer for him every turn. And here I attack for 7, forcing the 2 blocks, and then attack the 3rd time for 7. He either gives me cards on the hand, or it didn't really matter. If he gives me cards on the hand, then he doesn't have a way to replace the one that he's already played. So I'm okay with that. He's attacking for 7 at the Jinbe. Finally deciding enough is enough. This card is giving him enough value. I think it's time for me to just get rid of it. And it's a decent time for it to be dealt with, because now he can recover a little bit, as he's gonna clear my board completely, but he doesn't have a board. That's the issue. So, and he keeps 2 energy up. He's bluffing me now, and it works, because I do respect my opponents, to where if they show me 2 energy, I'm gonna be okay. I respect that. So what my turn was, if you didn't catch it, I just attach all my energy, my 8 energy. I attack the law, play a guy for free, recover something to my hand, and I just play a blocker. That was my turn, and I just wanted to be certain that I could get rid of that guy, because that guy was the only pressure that he had on board. And again, I already have an answer to the 3-drop Zoro, so he has to show me a different kind of answer, and he has to rebuild the whole board to be able to do anything. So here, the only way that he does it is with the Zoro, and now he plays the other Zoro, as that's the only solution that he has to play it, because there is no other answer for him. And he keeps 3 energy up against representing the Red Hawk. I'm like, okay, well, you bluffed me once, but I cannot really play around another one. I could, but I didn't want him to attack me with the 3-drop, as I can bounce him back and just get some value that way. And I played the Flamingo first, even though I know he might have a Red Hawk. I played the Flamingo first because I needed to hit for sure out of my Flamingo. But now that I attacked for 7 and he didn't Red Hawk my 3-drop and save the Zoro, I know for sure he doesn't have a Red Hawk. So that's important information for me for the future turns. Now he plays the Dan. Unfortunately for him, he didn't hit. That's really bad. But at least he's able to hit Bonnie into Bonnie. Now he's going to be able to rebuild a little bit. And he hits the Law. So he hits pretty well on this turn. And he's able to keep going in the game. He's at 2 lives, so he's not completely out of this game. He gets 7 at the leader. I'm just going to block it because I know he can probably not keep attacking. But this turn was perfect for him. He developed 5 cards. He still has a couple of cards. 3 cards is not much, but is good enough. As it forces me to deal with what's on board. But I have a great turn here. I already had the Mihawk planned for the turn before. But this turn it was equally as good because I was able to attack 5 times for 5k. And I was able to get rid of the Law, which was the most important card in his board. And remember, through all of this, I'm still at 4 life. And I have a bunch of cards in my hand. So I'm feeling confident in this game. I feel like I've gotten away with a lot of value for free. And that's what it is. That's what it was. No, he's priced into attacking my board every turn, and I'm okay because I can replace my board very efficiently with my leader, and I'm okay with all of this. Again, so he's finally able to swing with the Zoro, but I already have my win condition. Now he needs to be mindful of the fact that he needs to play blockers, because blockers are going to be the only way for him to survive next turn. So I already know he doesn't have a Red Hawk, so he cannot really bluff me with that anymore. So yeah, he's forced to untap the Bonnie and just get a blocker, because he knows I'm not gonna get bluffed by the Red Hawk anymore. Because he played the blocker, I know I cannot go for game anymore. So I'm just gonna attack, try to get rid of his Bonnie. I choose to get rid of the Bonnie and not the Zoro. I think because I have an answer for the Zoro. That might be the case. But no, I don't have an answer for the Zoro. But the Bonnie offers more value as he can get another blocker and invalidates my 9-drop for another turn. And I didn't want that to happen. But as you can see, I have even more cards than I couldn't even draw with my Love Beam if I wanted to. I have too many cards. I have too many. My board is pretty good. It's better than my opponent's, and I have more life than my opponent. More cards in hand. I'm just. It's an embarrassment of riches right now. He attacks at my leader. I think he's trying to just find a way to go for games. Maybe he can do that. He's thinking. He gets the Law gets back this one. He doesn't play anything back up. He's trying to keep the counters up so he can go for a game. And I'm not in a rush to win. I could go for game. I could attempt to go for game, but I don't have to really. There's no reason. And I play Alvira here because I had too many cards in hand, and I wanted to draw a card with my Boa Hancock. And I wanted for sure to go for game next turn. And, okay, so, sorry, if you missed it here. So, I wanted to go for game next turn. And also, I wanted to get rid of blockers in case he plays them. So, that was my play. That's why I played Elvira. Also, I attacked the leader, bounced back the Zoro, negating the Zoro again, and forcing him to block with the Law. But he's not going to block with the Law. He's just gonna take the last turn because he's trying to go for game this turn, even though I just kept 4 energy up, and no one who is that much advantage is gonna just keep 4 energy up if he doesn't have the counters for that, and he just surrenders. He knows that it's over. There's no way that he can combo out of anything here. So yeah, it was a really nice game, and again another way that it's just. This deck is really good. It's really good in this format, and it's gonna offer a lot of value for if you know how to play it. All right, and for our final thoughts on the deck, I love this deck. This deck is really good when it comes to outgrinding. My final record on today's locals was I got second place. I lost one match because I bricked really bad. I drew 2 Mihawks and 2 Loves, and the other card I don't remember what it was, but it was a really bad brick. But I think my inexperience with the deck, like I know how to play the deck when you have the good draws, but my inexperience to understand the deck, how to play it with the bad draws, is what I think lost me that game. Because I was really close to winning, even through that bad hand, I was really close to winning that game. But I didn't hit out of my leader twice when I did it blindly, so that was really bad for me. But I think if I would have hit once, or if I would have done some of the things differently, I would have absolutely won that one, and I would have got it first at my locals. So I think this deck, it's really good, and it deserves the respect that the deck actually can provide. With that being said, that's all I have for today. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day.